So last week when we were here, we were talking a lot about Matt Stafford being a New York Giant, and I'm pretty sure we were all in agreement we did not want Matt Stafford to be a New York Giant because he was going to cost a lot of money. It came out that the Giants are going to offer this guy $90 to $100 million guaranteed. So I guess Joe Schoen really wanted him, and he decided to stay with Los Angeles. I think he actually took less money to stay there. And again, if you're 37 years old, why do you want to come to a rebuilding project when you're a playoff team? So it made sense. I didn't think Stafford made sense here. I don't think any of us thought Stafford made sense here. So we've moved it on now. We have passed the buck to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers seems to be the guy now. At least I have a gut feeling Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Giant. I have a gut feeling we're going to see him throwing the pigskin for the New York Giants this year. Adriana, how much, I should say, what am I trying to say here? Do you think Aaron Rodgers will be the quarterback of the New York Giants? And if so, how does it make you feel? How would you feel about Aaron Rodgers being the quarterback of the Giants in 2025?
Not thrilled, but the more I hear about it, the more I'm starting to lean like you, where I'm like, oh my God, this is going to happen, isn't it? And I'm really hoping that it's wrong and it's all BS. But like, I just saw some video of Dan Orlovsky talking about it. Prince Amukamara's in the comments, like, yeah, we could have Rodgers and Devontae Adams. And I'm just like, oh God, I'm not on board with it. I think there are other good veteran quarterback options available that I think are going to cost less money than Aaron Rodgers. I think are going to be less of a headache than Aaron Rodgers is going to be. And look, at the end of the day, we're talking about a bridge quarterback. He's going to be here for 1, maybe 2 years. And you could maybe say that if it's only for a year, who cares if it's Aaron Rodgers? But look what he did to the Jets in a year and a half. And that's enough for me. I don't need him here. I really don't.
No, well, to be fair, Adriana, the Jets will jet. I mean, right. It matters who their quarterback is. The Jets will jet. Anthony, how would you feel? Do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to be the quarterback of the Giants? And if he was, how would you feel about him being here?
I think there's a really strong likelihood that he is. And initially, I was totally against it. But the more that I've thought about it and the more that I've looked at the options available to the New York Giants, the more of an open mind I now have to it, especially if he's able to bring Devontae Adams over with him. I know there's been some speculation about that. Maybe Devontae Adams wants to play on the West Coast for a contender. Maybe he wants to follow Aaron Rodgers. I guess we'll see. But that makes it a lot more attractive to me because I think having a solid number 2 wide receiver, basically a pseudo number 1 alongside Malik Neighbors would be fantastic. And I think Aaron Rodgers could conduct that offense well. Now, obviously, all of the off-the-field stuff is a concern. But the way that I kind of look at it now is the Giants are already so embarrassing and already such a mess. It really can't get any worse than this. So if it's just another media storm to throw into the mix, we just went through the ultimate media storm for 20-something weeks with Saquon Barkley in the New York Giants. Screw it, man. Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show, whatever. I don't care as long as the New York Giants are winning football games.
Yeah, it's funny because there was talk about if Stafford came over, he would bring Cooper Kupp. And obviously, there's a good chance that if Rodgers is here, he would also bring Devontae Adams, which would give us a legitimate number 2. Chris, I know Aaron Rodgers is your guy. How confident are you?
On the field, not off the field. But
right.
Yes, on the field, I've always been a bit.
How confident are you that the Giants are going to bring him in? And if they do bring him in, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this last week. And last week I said when I had to pick one of the 2 options, I said I preferred the Rodgers option to the Stafford option. That doesn't mean I'm excited for the Rodgers option. I just thought the Stafford option made a lot less sense simply because I knew it was going to cost them a big extension like it did the Rams. I don't remember the exact contract details, but you were going to have to give them $50 million, probably tack on 2 extra years to the deal. That's what I anticipated if you were to trade for him. And you had to give up draft compensation to get him. With Rodgers, I said, okay, that's a guy that would be here for a year or 2, like Adriana said. And I from Joe Schoen's perspective, it makes a world of sense because as we talked about over the last couple of weeks, when I asked the hypothetical question, if you're Joe Schoen, how would you feel safer if you were to win 8 games and bring in a quarterback? Like what would give you the better chance to retain your job? If you were to bring in a veteran quarterback like a Matt Stafford at the time, that was what we were talking about, and win 8 games, or bring in a rookie and win 4. And at least Anthony, I remember saying that he actually thought that Joe Schoen had a better chance to keep his job with the 8-game scenario and not drafting a quarterback. With this, you could kind of do both. If you're Joe Schoen and you're worried that if the team wins 3 or 4 games with a rookie quarterback, you're going to lose your job, by signing Rodgers, not giving up any draft capital to do so. Of course, we don't know the contract details, but I can't imagine it'd be more than a year or two deal. It gives you that guy that could start and probably win at least 6 or 7 games for you and at least quench the thirst of Mara not to be a laughingstock next year. And he kind of serves as a mentor for the rookie quarterback. So I could see it. And I would think if the team kind of hovered around 500, Rodgers would play the majority of the year. Maybe you see the rookie the last week or two. If the team starts like 0-4, 0-5, they probably have a quick hook, because that would probably then give Shane and Dable the best opportunity to keep their jobs if they could show hope with the rookie quarterback for the remainder of the year. But that would probably be the plan going into the year. So I could see it. I think it makes sense from Joe Shane's perspective, and it doesn't prohibit you or prevent you from drafting a quarterback with the 3rd overall selection. You could still go ahead and do that. My only doubt is, and apparently that may not be the case, but I always said, I don't know if Rodgers would sign up for that. That was my thinking to that. But if he's willing to do that, he knows the deal going in, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to be super excited, but I'm okay with it. It gives, I think, Joe Shane the best opportunity to keep his job as he gets to mold that young quarterback that I expect him to draft with that 3rd overall pick.
Yeah, I mean, I come from the same line of thinking as Anthony. When I first heard Aaron Rodgers with the Giants, I'm like, oh my God, what the hell are they doing? Here's another freaking media circus. Here's another, here we go again. And then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Because if you bring in Aaron Rodgers, he is going to be a bridge quarterback. But it's only probably going to be 1 year, because he's not going to want to be a backup. And if you're the Giants, you're drafting a quarterback regardless. So we're going to have a rookie quarterback starting at some point, whether it's later in 2025 or 2026. I don't think Aaron Rodgers wants to be a backup at any point in his career. So this will probably be 1 year. The Giants can get out of it really quick. And yeah, he's one of the greatest to ever play. He might have issues off the field, but on the field, the man, you can't question his greatness. He's one of the most talented players in the history of football as far as the quarterback position goes. And a rookie could learn a lot from Aaron Rodgers, who has a lot of experience. So I actually wouldn't be adverse to them signing him. I personally think they're going to sign him. I have a gut feeling that he is going to be the guy, especially when you hear that they offered Stafford all that money.